Hi, it's Mark from Training Spark, and in this video we're going to show you how you can insert ChatGPT into your LearnDash courses. Now there are many reasons you might want to do this. ChatGPT is perfect for an online learning environment, and there are many different ways you could use it. For example, you could create a scenario where ChatGPT is someone trying to test your understanding and ask you questions. Or equally, you could have it as your guide on the side and allow your learners to ask questions about your content as they're going through your courses. And that's just the start. I mean, ChatGPT is evolving at such a rapid rate. It's going to work hand in hand with any online learning platforms going forward. So it makes sense to start using it and bringing it into your courses now. You know, it's not difficult to do, as we'll see in this video. So what I'm going to do, I'm logged into my WordPress platform here, and I have LearnDash on here. I'm going to go to the dashboard, and I'm going to head to plugins, and then add new. And what I'm going to do is search for AI Engine. And this is one of the most popular ChatGPT related plugins for WordPress at the moment. It's kept up to date, it's got good reviews, and it does look like there are a couple of other ones here, but I'm just going to install this one and show you how this works and use it to create a basic scenario-based exercise for one of your courses. So once you've installed that, what you will find in the left-hand menu here is you've got this Meow Apps, and it gives you two options here. Dashboard is more some sort of general settings here, but what you want to do is click on AI Engine. And we're not going to go into every single setting here. What I would say is that a lot of the settings here in this plugin are, the default settings are as you would want them. So it's only really if you want to go in depth and pick certain things that you'd want to ever change any of these settings. So in most cases, you can probably leave these as they are. Before we get started, what you will need to do is sign up for an API key with OpenAI. So if you head to Settings, you can choose which service you want to use for this, because there are more than one. And we're going to use OpenAI because that is what ChatGPT is part of. And it asks you to insert your API key in here. And to do that, you've got to create an OpenAPI account. So you can click on the link here. And what this will do is allow you to sign up and create an API key. It's just taking a little while to open here. Well, I had that open in another tab anyway. You'll come to a platform like this. And essentially what you want to do is head to your the top right there and go to Manage or View API Keys here. And that'll just load the API keys section here. It's just a bit slow at the moment. And you can see any API keys you have created already. But what you want to do is create a new secret key. And I'll just call this something like Sandbox. I'm just going to create it and then delete it straight after this. But it will create you a key like this, which you can just copy and then paste into this field here. So I'm obviously going to delete that after this video, so don't try and copy that. But that has now been saved and is now using our account. So just to add, ChatGPT does cost money. It kind of has these tokens, and I think a token is equivalent of a word in a response, and it's not expensive unless you're using it in a huge scale. The kind of rates and token system is a bit complicated to kind of get a handle on, because it didn't really have a tangible cost as such. But you'll see if you start to use it that most things are going to be a case of pence or cents, not huge volumes, unless you've got a platform that gets used by lots and lots of people. And I think when you create an account on it, you get a certain number of free credits anyway, just to try it. And I think this is at the time of recording, you get so many dollars of credits that you can just try and set up. So give that a go and you'll get an API key and you can insert it here and then get started. So if we head to chatbots here, we can see that we've got what you could essentially put onto one of your courses here. So I just ask a question here. How do I use WordPress? And this is using ChatGPT, so it's going to get in touch with ChatGPT, get the message back, and put it into here, hopefully. I think I must have picked a slow time of day here because it is taking quite a long time to do anything. There we go. So it's got a question and the answer here, so that is working, we can see. What I'm going to do in this video is create a scenario where you're being asked interview questions. So this is where you can set the context of your conversation with ChatGPT. So what you can do on this tab here is create different chatbots, and each one has a different shortcode that you can paste into a page. So I'm just going to work on this one at the moment, and I'm going to add the context for this and say something like, you are an interviewer interviewing me for the role of a developer at an agency. You should ask me questions to make sure I am suitable for the role. Ask me one question at a time. And try and make sure that I can use WordPress. Just an example. So that's the kind of context for the chat. There are a few things you can change here in the visual settings. So you'll see these actually happen on the right hand side here. But AI is the name of the it's like AI user AI. That doesn't really make sense here, so I'm going to call it interviewer and see if that updates. So there, and user, I don't know, maybe we could just put that as you for now. So you can see that that's changed on the right hand side. You can change the start sentence. So hi, are you ready for the interview? So that'll just change the message there. And you can change a few things that appear on the interface, like the bit that says there, type your message. You can change that here, change the titles of the buttons and things that happen around it. On the AI settings, there's a few bits you can change here. And I won't go into too much detail on this, but Turbo is the model that at the time of recording, most people are using because it's the fastest version of it. It's using the ChatGPT 3.5 engine. It does give you the option to use some of these other ones, even ChatGPT 4. However, you probably don't have access to this yet unless you're paying to do it and you're on some sort of, you've got to the top of some sort of waiting list. If you set that to ChatGPT 4, I think what will happen is it'll just say error, can't get in touch with it, because most people don't have access to that yet. So if you leave that on Turbo, that's probably what's best for now. Temperature is how creative you want the responses to be. So if you want fairly standard, boring responses that are kind of uniform, you would set that to a lower value. Whereas if you want really wacky, creative ones, I think the highest you can set that as is, and it's 1. So that would be the highest value, and that would mean that there's a lot of creative license there. I'll just leave that as 0.8 as it was. You can also set the maximum number of tokens and the max messages that you can add in conversations here. And I guess you might want to do this to manage the costs here, because obviously the higher the number of tokens you use as part of conversations, the more expensive that's going to be, for your costs here. So that's saved now, and what I'm going to do now is just copy that and go into one of my LearnDash courses, and I'm going to paste that into one of the lessons here. So this is completely out of context here, but this is a diet for weight loss one that's going to be asking me interview questions about a developer role, but it's just for demonstration purposes here. I'm just going to add that in. I'm going to paste it and then click update, and I'm going to view the lesson. Oh, I don't think it saved my change there because it's talking about ChatGPT 4. So I'm just going to go back to the AI engine here and just make sure it's saved my. So I just want to make sure that's saved. Okay, I think that's worked. So for some reason it looked like it had saved there, but it didn't. I don't know, it's not updated or something. Right, okay, I think that's worked. So we've got that in here now, and this is now embedded into the lesson. And I'll say, yes, I am ready for the interview. Great. Can you tell me about your experience with WordPress? Yes, I have used it for many years. That's great. Can you tell me a complex WordPress project that you've worked on before? Yes, I set up a platform with lots of plugins. So this is just me going through it, but you can see what's happening here. It's tell me which plugins you've used, how we customize it. So it's asking you questions and putting you in a scenario, and that's just one way you could use ChatGPT. If you come back to the settings, equally you could set another chatbot up with completely different rules, and maybe one that's more of a guide for an assistant like this, versus if you're an AI assistant, and this you could ask any question you liked. Before I finish, what I'll just show you here is that you can change the design of this as well. So I think there are some options to change the look and feel of the viewer here. And what you do, it's a bit confusing here. You sort of toggle this over, but you sort of move it over to this themes one, but you can change things like the background color. So, you select different colors here. You've got a primary color and a secondary color, and you can change things like the button colors and things like that. So this is looking pretty garish at the moment, but you can also change, if you didn't want rounded edges, you can remove those and change font colors as well. So yeah, you can change these, and let's just see if that's now, so that's updated, and doesn't really look anything like this, but you can see that we've changed the look and feel, and we've got this ChatGPT in our platform. So I hope you find that useful, and like I said, ChatGPT is going to be one of the big things in the future of online learning. So try and get on there while you can, and just play around with some of the options we have here, and just be part of the evolution of this, and embrace it, and try and use it as much as you can in your online training. So if you did like this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more like this, please subscribe to the Training Spark YouTube channel.